I actually wanted to Google what that meant. What that means. Because obviously, like in my other lives, I have mentioned at the start. Well, I think no one's usually in at the start when I start, so no one sees that part where I'm like, hello, and then I'm like, oh my god, why did I say that? I shouldn't have said that. I don't know if people are actually. Maybe people are. Maybe people who um watch from the beginning, maybe watch as a replay kind of thing. They see it, but yeah, namaskar. Let me just find what that means. Namaskar meaning. Okay. Okay, yeah. So it's very similar to namaste, and it comes from Sanskrit, which means nama means bow, salute, reverence. So Om Namah Shivaya, for example, I'll get into what that means also. And then Kara, Namaskara, uh, Kara is action to do. So I offer my salutations to you. I bow to you. So Namaskar, everybody. I bow to you. I think, for example, namaste actually means I bow to the divine in you. And my sister told me this. So when I used to see animals, she would do these things. She would say namaste to them. And it was really interesting because, let me see what it looks like without this light. Actually, you know what? It looks fine. Should we keep the light? Or should we get rid of the light? We'll get rid of the light for now. I do not like artificial light. But I appreciate it, you know? But yeah, when I used to say I'm walking along the canal or something, and then there are animals or just animals anywhere, I would say namaste to them, and then they would respond better almost. They would be changed in a way. You okay? Sorry, let me just check because I don't want to miss. Anywhere, I would say namaste to them, and then they would say hello. I mean, namaskar. Better, almost. They would be changed in a way. Okay. Sorry, let me just check because I don't want to miss. Okay, came up. Okay, cool. This means that the comments are working. I don't know. Did I spell that right? Yeah, I did think. I did spell that right. I don't know why I'm jumbling so much today. Honestly, usually I'm fine in my lives, and I feel like maybe I've just been overthinking it too much today or something, or I just feel a little bit, I don't know, weird. But today, I wanted to talk about many things, to be honest. I mean, I usually don't know where the conversation is going to go, but one of the things that I did want to focus on today was building a strong aura. Because recently, I've had, not, I mean, if it was just one, okay, cool, two, okay, cool, but a few people told me that they think I have a strong aura. And then I wanted to kind of, you know, point out some things that I've done and kind of figure out why I did it. So I had to work in reverse. Okay, why did you get to that point? What did you do? So that I can teach other people how to do the same thing. And the thing is, it's not just for the sake of having a strong aura so you can tell people you have a strong aura. I mean, to be honest, you wouldn't actually need to tell people because an aura is just something that can be felt rather than something that needs to be verbalized. Yeah, like what I'm trying to say is have a strong aura for other reasons, right? A strong aura allows you to influence people because people, you know, people will just are more likely to listen to you. They're more likely to want to be in your energy and be in your space. There's a cleanliness to your energy. There's a coherence in your energy field, and it has several great benefits to you as a person. So let's get into it. Let's get into why or how even I figured out that I got to having a strong aura. Okay, so let me start off by saying I remember watching this video. I was in India, right? And I was watching this video, this podcast with this Indian guy, and he was talking about just about, you know, the importance of waking up early in the morning, which is called Amrit Vela, so the ambrosial hour, the witching hour, whatever you want to call it, which is usually from 12 till 4 a.m. But I don't know, some people say it's from 12 till 6 a.m. I don't know, but it's early morning. And he said that you should be using that time to wake up and to remember God. And if you can do that and then also take care of your sexual energy, then you are someone who will have a strong aura. Because what he was referring to was, he was Punjabi, so he was referring to the older generation of Punjabis who, they used to have really strong auras. Hi, Saad. Yeah, they used to have really strong auras. They had really strong characters. And he was saying that that's why, because they had sexual discipline. Hi, it's Ramin. How are you? I'm good, thank you. How are you? What are you yapping about here? Interesting choice of language. What else? Wait, they took it. Yeah, and they used to meditate, right? They used to meditate when they used to wake up. So I remember watching that video and thinking, I want to have a strong aura. I'm going to have a strong aura. And then it was so funny. I don't, because soon after that, I had so many people very soon after that tell me, oh, you have a strong aura, you have a strong aura. And I was like, whoa, did I just manifest that? Like, how did that happen? I think one of the things was that I had the intention to have a strong aura. So because I had the intention, I had a goal, I had a destination. And when you have a goal, when you have a destination, you know where you're going, right? Energy is flowing to that one place. And then it's building that thing. So naturally, my energy was flowing to the fact that I wanted to have a strong aura. And I don't know how to describe it verbally, but it's more of an energetic thing. Like a feeling where I could feel myself focusing on my inner world more rather than my outer world, and just being more present and inwards. And I felt subtly that that was having an effect, rather than giving my energy away. Because a lot of times what happens in life is, and Ramin, I'm so happy that you're great. A lot of times what happens is we give our energy away. When we give our energy away, we give our power away. When we give our power away, we have a weaker energy field, right? You can't have a strong aura if you have a weak energy field. Because what is an aura? An aura is a subtle, multi layered, energetic atmosphere that surrounds a person. So, what causes that to shrink? Let's get into that. Fear, resentment, and doubt shrink it. Okay? So, how did I get past these things? Well, first of all, what I'd like to say is that I was already on a path of, you could say, devotion, remembrance of God. I was, devoted to meditating, to stillness, loads of different things. But we're going to go through them slowly, and I'm going to explain them all so that you too can do this. And the thing is, not only will it strengthen your aura, you having a strong aura will be a byproduct of the immense, infinite amounts of other benefits that you will get from that. Because I believe everybody is supposed to have a strong aura. Health is normal. Everybody should be healthy. Having a strong aura, having a strong energy field, having a large ability to be able to influence people. These are all healthy, normal things that should be accepted, that everybody has access to, but we just don't know how to get there because things in society are created for you to have the opposite so that you can be manipulated and controlled into things, right? Into buying things you don't actually need, into feeling insecure about things you don't need to feel insecure about feeling disillusioned about life and about what life is about. All of these things make you a prime target for people who may want to take advantage of you. And it's not even people who are in kind of like in charge or energies that are in charge. It's also people around you. When you have a weak aura, you have holes in it, which means that you actually attract low vibrational experiences into your life, low vibrational people into your life, and just, I guess, low vibrational thoughts and emotions. You're opening yourself up. You're becoming more vulnerable to lower frequencies, which is not something you want, because once you get there, it's difficult to get back up, right? It's a real push to push through and come out on the other end. Of course, it's not impossible, but why make it harder for ourselves when we can set ourselves up for success? And you can do this by Hi, Money. Good evening. Hi. Oh my God. Jesus. Oh my Lord. Okay. All right. Hi, Louise. Louise? Louise. Okay. Yeah, so I'm talking about strengthening your aura and the things I did to strengthen my aura. So, one of the things, like I said, that I used to do was I focused on devotion, right? So, focusing on inner stillness. And how did I do that? Well, meditation. What does meditation do? Meditation brings peace. You can tell the difference between someone who has meditated, who meditates a lot, who has a meditative practice, compared to someone who doesn't. It's very easy, especially for the person who meditates, because when you meditate, you could say that you get superpowers in a sense, okay? You can tell when someone is trying to manipulate you much easier than before. For example, with myself, even though I could tell that there's sketchy things about people, I had so many thoughts in my mind. There was so much chaos in my mind that it was impossible for me to kind of go through with it and be like, okay, sorry, let me just open the window. It's kind of getting hot. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it was difficult for me to kind of go through with it, you know? I could, in my heart, I could feel, okay, this isn't okay for me. This doesn't feel right, but I would be overriding my heart's intelligence with my brain and logic and try to justify things and say, no, it's fine, it's this, it's this. But when you meditate, you have a calmer mind. You are aware of your thoughts. Second of all, the more you meditate, the less frequency of thoughts you have. There is more space between thoughts. Because if you've ever done any sort of meditation, specific types of meditation, for me anyway, this is how I found out. Um, you listen and you become aware of where thoughts come from. So if I tell you to just close your eyes now, okay, okay, and just take a few deep breaths, and really just allow yourself to settle into your body, and just become really, really still. And now thoughts are going to come into your mind, okay? You're going to hear my voice and then you're going to hear thoughts. I just want you to become aware when thoughts do come in or where they're coming from. What is the source of these thoughts? Where are they appearing from? And when you focus on them, where do they go? What happens to them? Let me know your answers. Let me know what you think. But what answers I got were, I'm not thinking my thoughts. There is no thinker in my mind thinking thoughts, okay? Second of all, they disappear. The moment I focus on them, they just vanish. So there's no real tangibility to them, okay? They're not real things. I mean, they're not real things, but they feel so real to us. Hi, Dudley. I'm aware, but so many pending tasks come into mind. Everything in my mind, in my head, brain. Okay, so these tasks that come into your mind, they are thoughts, right? It's a thought about a task. Everything that comes into your mind when you judge the thought, when you're like, oh wait, I was supposed to be it's like trying to catch smoke at times. Exactly, right? What a perfect way to describe it. They are so fleeting, they are so temporary, yet so many of us are bogged down by them. So many of us feel chained by our thoughts. It really got me thinking about overthinking. And people who overthink, they can never be happy. That's the conclusion I came to, because overthinking, pardon me, is the opposite of peace. Because when you have peace, it's not that all thoughts disappear. It's just that you're aware of them, and they tend to be like less of them than if you were overthinking. Overthinking is the extreme. Overthinking is like going, it's going, it's going, it's going. It's like a motor. Okay, like a train engine comes to mind. It's just like spinning, 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 you know, with no respite for you. And that is a very dark place to be. It's a very annoying place to be. I remember when I used to be in a very low place in my life, I used to be so distraught at the fact that I can't escape myself. That's what I used to think, like, why can I not just get rid of myself? Like, you know, like, how do I escape this mind? Because I just allowed it to become a maniac. And the thing is, the mind naturally is a maniac. And we are not trying to tame the maniac. We are just trying to become aware of the maniac. We are trying to observe the maniac. We are allowing the maniac to do what it needs to do, but just becoming aware of it, right? Because otherwise, it's like you letting a maniac come into your life and letting it run your life and saying, okay, do this now. Okay, do this now. Oh my God, she hates you. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen a movie where they express someone having thoughts, and then the way that their thoughts can be like, oh my God, she's watching you. Maybe like if you've watched a movie where someone has something like schizophrenia, where they can hear voices, and the voices are just like, oh my God, people are after you, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, she's looking at you like that, why is he looking at you like that, they want to fight you, they want to take your dog, I don't know what it is, you know, something like that. And it's you're allowing that maniac to run your life. It's like letting a drunk person run your life. That's what everybody is doing, and we're all pretending to be rational, logical beings when none of us are. You're very beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah, it sucks. I'm naturally an overthinker for various reasons. Meditation and reminding myself I'm not my thoughts, my ego, my fears, etc. allows me to separate and realize I'm awareness. I love that for you. And it must feel so peaceful, right, Dudley? I love doing that whenever I hear thoughts, because obviously we can't, like I said, we cannot stop them. We don't want to stop them. We allow them. There's Jeff Foster. I did one of his meditations, and it was the most beautiful meditation ever, because it was a meditation that welcomed all of me. He said, okay, you know, just sit there and focus on your breathing. He said, look, you're going to have thoughts. You're having thoughts, right? I don't want you to try to stop those thoughts. I want you to allow them to exist. I know you're feeling restless. You're probably feeling tired. You're probably thinking, why am I sitting here doing this meditation? Let that exist. Let that restlessness exist. Don't try to rid yourself of it. And it just got me into the most beautiful meditative state ever, and I felt so happy, because I'm telling you, I say this all the time, your suffering comes from non-acceptance. Your suffering comes from non-acceptance. If you take anything away from this, your suffering comes from non-acceptance. Your suffering comes from fighting things, okay? Pushing them away, repressing them, suppressing them. Insecurity. The worst thing about insecurity is not the insecure thought. It's the fact that I feel ashamed of having the insecure thought, thinking that that defines me, that that's who I am, and then trying to repress it and be like, no, 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 it's fine. Nothing happened, nothing happened. You know, it's almost like, you know, when you have siblings and then you like smack one of them. Oh my God. You like smack one of them because you're a child and you're fighting and they're younger than you, and then they start crying and you're like, no, don't cry, I'm gonna get in trouble. Ah! And you're like, shh, shh, and then you're trying to hide them, or like put your hand on their mouth and trying to stop them from crying so you don't get in trouble. It's like that. It doesn't work. It's not good, right? Hi, Ronnie. Correct. Thank you. However, since I've functioned through fear and ego survival, I often return back, but it's easier getting better and better. Dudley, that's so interesting that you say it in that way. The fact that you identify as someone who functions through fear and ego means that you'll always be stuck in that cycle. There may be moments where you kind of pull yourself out of it, but why are you even identifying with that? You know, that is an ego talking. That is your ego, right? That you have, that's like, okay, I only work through ego and fear. Therefore, you will continue to emulate that into your life. The fears and ego serve to keep you safe. They're easy to want to be, because in the past you would be punished, but the safety and comfort is limiting. Finding body and understanding is calming. Exactly. With the calm, I feel way more happy and loving. You understand and process things better. You feel truly alive. It's great, but so frustrating to maintain. See, it's just really interesting, like all the words that you're using, like frustrating to maintain. Maybe it's because you have already assumed that your standard baseline behavior, your natural way of being, is being in fear and being in ego. The ego has convinced you that you need the ego, that you need fear, so that you can be safe, because you feel unsafe otherwise, right? But what if I told you that you can be safe and not have the ego and not be fearful? Because the ego convinces you that you're not safe, that you need it, because that's how it perpetuates itself. That's how it maintains. It's an energy system, right? And you keep feeding it energy because it's convincing you, it's fooling you. True, yeah, that makes sense that I go back, since I still believe that that's my default, which is stopping me. Exactly, it's your default setting, and you'll continue to go back to it as long as you identify as it. But I love that you've brought that up here. I love that we have, made you aware of that now, because now when that happens, there'll be a little part of you that becomes aware of the fact that you do that. And then that's one step further away from the ego, from the traps of the ego. One thing I love to do is, Jason, excité, s'il vous plaît. Babe, I don't need observation.
You need supervision, okay?
No, I don't need supervision. Unless you want to say hello.
I'm fine, thank you.
He's my YouTube manager. Where am I from? Where is anybody from? I am from nothingness. See if you can make anything of that. But yeah, your default setting, it is like shooting yourself in the foot. One thing that I was going to say that really helped me was get up, go on Pinterest or something. Let's do that right now, okay? Let's go on Pinterest and let's type in what a person who is in their ego, someone who lives from their ego, what the qualities that they have, and then someone who doesn't live from their ego, what qualities they have. And when you have that up in front of you, anytime you act, if you have it just somewhere where you can see easily, anytime that you act, then you can be like, oh, okay, wait, this is happening because of that, okay? Because that's something that really helped me. So ego versus, what would we say? Ego versus soul. There we go. Or your higher self. Okay, so ego versus soul. The ego seeks to serve itself. Nice topic. If you try to control your thoughts, they will ruin your life. Instead, observe their coming and just going like clouds. They come and go. We are the watchers of thoughts, not the actors. Exactly. Oh my god, there's a point I want to share. Okay, today I was doing a meditation. I keep raving on about him. Sam Harris, I love you. It's his app, Waking Up, okay? The reason I love his app so much is because I have never had any formal training when it comes to meditation. And I didn't even realize that you had, that it was really beneficial too, because there's so much you can do in meditation. So much. It's like working through things in an energetic way, And one of the things that he said today was, okay, so obviously I've built this up where we've done it every single day, done activities. So I'm on day 17 or 20 now, maybe. And then one of the things he said was, okay, so you quickly become aware of the fact that you focus on your breathing, and then you become aware of the fact that you are not your body, as in you don't feel like you have a body. You don't focus on the fact that there's a shape and there's boundaries and there's legs, and you just focus on the sensations, okay? Because that's what everything is. When you really whittle it down, it's just a bunch of sensations. You become aware of the sensations. Then he said, who is observing these sensations? Like, who is it? And then I thought, okay, there's an observer behind my face. That's why I feel it. I feel it behind my face. I feel it behind my chest and my arms. And then he said, okay, is that really you? Or is just that, is that just something that's appearing in consciousness? Because if you really think about it, you are consciousness. You are complete consciousness, right? You're not just isolated in your body. Consciousness is pervading. It's all pervading. It's everywhere. So then I realized I'm not the observer. There is no observer. There's only observing. You know, how crazy is that? There is no one meditating. No one sits down to meditate. No one becomes present. It's already existing. It's already happening. That's why they say do less, because it just makes sense. That's why meditation is effortless, because it's already happening. It's the thing that is always happening. But there is just more noise being added onto it. Does that make sense for everybody? Ma'am, your English is good. How can I learn English? Please reply. Thank you. Well, first of all, I live in England. That is why my English is good. How can you practice? How can you improve? Practice. Speak to people. Speak as much English as you can. And for example, I'll tell you how I like to learn Hindi, because I can understand Hindi, but I can't always. I don't know if you speak Hindi. I'm Hindi. Okay, let me know if you speak Hindi. I'll try to tell you in Hindi, and then you can see how my Hindi is, and then you can understand what I'm trying to say. But I don't speak Hindi that well, because I don't speak it often. I listen to it, I understand everything, but I'm not practicing verbally, right? It's about attuning your mouth, the way your mouth moves, right? Your facial muscles, to speak that language. The mouth moves in different ways when you're speaking different languages. It comes from a different place. For example, Arabic. Arabic is very throaty, right? It comes from a different place compared to a different language. So practice, speak it. That's what I do. When I'm watching a Hindi movie, I'll repeat the word, even if it's in my mind. "Aap kaise ho? Kya ho raha hai? Main aise hu, main," you know. Practice. That's it. With anything, practice. Nothing is impossible. You're never too old. You're never too anything. Nothing can prevent you from learning. Okay. The human mind, our ability is just expansive. It's infinite. You can teach yourself anything. Okay. Oh, I was interpreting that as I am the observer, not the entirety of observation itself. Thanks, ma'am. You're welcome. My pleasure. See, Dudley, that is it. You are the entirety of observation itself. How crazy is that? When I was like, jeez, Sam, you're taking me to another level once again. And that is non-duality. Okay, that is non-dual awareness, because in life we see duality, right? We see ego versus soul. We see hot and cold. We see up and down. Your Bindi is cute. Thank you. She is cute. We see all of these things. We see different polarities, and these polarities are important. Okay, we're not against them. We're not against anything in life. Okay, they're important because extremes allow us to learn, right? When we have hot, we know what hot is if we can experience cold. When we have light, we know what light is if darkness exists. You see, so these were things that exist because they serve a purpose, so that we can learn, so that we can distinguish between two things. But it's about understanding that, and then also knowing that non-duality exists, and our true home, who we truly are, is non-dual awareness. Could you tell me how I can become more fluent in English speaking? Oh my god. Shall I start giving English classes? Like I said earlier, you mustn't compare, because I live in England. I don't live in India. I know I'm Indian. I look very Indian right now, but I don't live in India, so hence why my English is so good. So yeah, if you live in a different country other than England and you can't speak English, don't compare and feel bad about yourself. You may not be. I'm just like putting it out there anyway. I don't want someone to feel that way, you know. But practice. Practice makes perfect. Speak it. Speak English out of your mouth. Speak as much as you can. Speak, push yourself. If you don't know something, go learn it. For example, French. I did French at A-level, and I didn't do so well. I mean, I did pretty well in my speaking, actually, so I'm kidding. Whatever. But yeah, what I would do at home, even though I hated learning it in school, I love speaking it to my sister, and then I'd be speaking it, and I would get to points where I don't know what to say because I can think of something I want to say in English, like I can formulate a sentence, but it's about translating it, and then I would be like, oh, okay, let me go and translate that. How can I learn to say this? And then slowly, you will learn how to speak English. You just gotta push yourself. It's commitment. Oh, okay. Actually, I'm here to learn English too from your lecture, and it really makes me happy to hear your voice. Really, I don't know why. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm glad. Hey, there's so many things you're learning, right? Hi everybody. Welcome. Namaskar to you all. Namaskar means I bow to the divine in you. Well, yeah, I bow to you because you are all my beloveds. Because that's a different topic. Okay, but okay. We were talking about the ego, okay? So one thing that can, are you not Indian? I am. In this lifetime, yes, I am Indian. Hi all to learn English just to attend each live video. Okay, so the ego. The ego seeks to serve itself, okay? These are some of the attributes of the ego. So if you seek to serve yourself, then you're in your ego. Hello, what language do you speak? I speak English. I attempt Hindi. Okay, you know what? I identify as someone who speaks fluent Hindi, okay? From now on, I speak fluent Hindi. I speak fluent Punjabi. I can speak a little bit French, like very tiny amounts of French. And like I knew a few words in Spanish. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Baila conmigo, mi amor. Yeah, that's what yeah, I know a little bit more too, but I won't say those words. The ego seeks outward recognition, okay? This is where we want validation outside of us. The ego seeks to preserve itself. It's very defensive, it's very protective. What is the use? Impressive. What is the use of what, John? The ego looks outwards, right? We're always looking outwards. What's happening? Oh, okay, this person thinks this, so I should think this. This is what society does. This is what norms, the norms that exist. See, this is actually one of the thoughts I was having today. I realized that I change what is the use of your language. That's so interesting, John. What is the use of any language? Yeah. I would manipulate parts of myself depending on who I was with. Like I would hide particular parts. I would mute parts of myself, you know? Because for example, let me put it into perspective. I am probably the most comfortable being myself with my family. Of course, naturally. Well, maybe not naturally for everybody. I have to say, well, the use of my language is to communicate with people from different cultures. As you said, you're manipulating. What? As you said, you're manipulating. What? I fear that I am not understanding what you are saying. Let me drive the point home. Yes, I would mute myself, and maybe a lot of you can relate to that. Muting your parts of yourself and not expressing your whole self because you want to appear normal. But you know, I realized that's me being in my ego, because what does the ego do? The ego looks outward. The ego wants outward recognition. So when I want to be perceived as you know, oh my god, I need to stop reading the comments at some point because it's just distracting me. Okay, yeah, let's say I want to be perceived in a certain way because I want to be perceived as normal. So that's why I'm so bothered about the way people see me. So I mute myself, you know, I tweak myself, I become very malleable. And I'm like, no, okay, I can show these parts, I can't show these parts. Well, I realized that I don't have to do that anymore. I can just be me because everybody is unique. Everybody is different. There is no normal. There is only normal because someone decided something was normal and then everybody thought, oh my god, I don't want to be the odd one out, because there's this whole like evolutionary biology thing coming in where we want to be part of the tribe. And then, you know, we want to be considered normal. For me, and more comfy, I'm more comfy with some friends, not all either not really comfy with family. Unfortunately, my shine is most stalled around family. I'm sad to hear that. I'm glad that there are certain people that you do feel comfortable with. You know, in life, not everybody gets us, you know? And sometimes it feels like you're the black sheep. But that's okay, because it's kind of, they say that someone who's liked by everybody is liked by nobody, because you cannot be liked by everybody. It just doesn't, it's not a thing. You know, when you are unique, when you are yourself, when you have authenticity, then only a finite amount of people may actually like you. Well, actually, I think everybody does like you, but some people can't admit that they like you, because we're naturally drawn to confidence, which is what happens when you express your uniqueness, right? And you radiate authenticity. How can you not like that? Some people may not like that because they're insecure about it, but they do secretly like it. That's why they're insecure about it, because they wish that they had those qualities. Because the things we are jealous of, the things we judge, we wish we had. It's a desire in us. Thank you, Randy. Why women hate other women. Okay, interesting. Why do women hate other women? This, Abdul, comes down to history. Women in the past, because we live in a system, right? We live under patriarchy, which is a system where men were given superiority in life and women were made to be inferior. Women didn't have access to all the resources that men had. Men were given land, opportunity to work, to vote, access to money, to property. Women didn't have that. So what happened was, if a woman wanted to survive, she had to get a man. So this naturally introduced a sense of competition in the woman. So the woman thought, okay, I need a good man because I need to be married. I need someone to take care of me because I live in a world where I'm not able to take care of myself. This may be consciously or subconsciously that she thinks that, depending on her level of consciousness. But yeah, she's like, okay, I need to find a man to take care of me. You know, because my survival depends on it. So I have to then compete with other women because now it's a survival of the fittest, right? I have to be the fittest. I have to be like this. I have to be like this. I have to be subservient. I have to listen. I have to cook well. Yes. So I'm going to turn the camera on you and then you're going to be very upset. But it's okay. I'm enjoying. Go ahead. It gives me a break from speaking. Why? I'm busy. Je suis busy. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Ta-ta. I'll come in a bit. I'm busy. I'm needed right now. Adios. Okay, apologies about that. But yeah, does that make sense? That's why women started to compete with each other, and it's something that's kind of continued that they still do to this day. And you know, speaking on that, I find that a lot of men, not like yeah, a lot of men do encourage that. Okay, maybe not a lot, I don't know, like men do encourage that as well. I've had, you know, men compliment me, but they compliment me in a way that is insulting another woman. I mean, I'm a twin, okay, so they would say to me, oh, you know, you're the better looking twin, or you're the better twin, you're this, and then they would, like, other men would say the same to my sister as well. And I think it would be really off-putting, because why is it that you need to compliment me whilst insulting someone else, whilst pitting me up against someone else? And then I was dating someone, and you know, there was a girl that was his friend that was there, and he said, oh, look at Priya doesn't wear eyelashes, she's all natural, and you know, you're wearing all of this. And I remember turning around to him and saying, no, she actually looks great, I just didn't put my eyelashes on because I didn't want to, sort of thing, you know, at that point. But yeah, I didn't like that. You don't make me feel good by putting another woman down. It just makes me question who you are, because someday you'll do the same to me, you know? Okay, language is not knowledge. It's just a communication medium between people nowadays with AI too. Yep, normal is more of a prison. You sense others at this point. Yep, I agree. Oh jeez. Made a moving goalpost. Is he like? I'm not like as beautiful. Are you married? I am not married. Who's? Who's... No, it's my sister. Gross people. What do you think about there are more women in the world than men? What do I think about that? I don't know. I don't really think of that. Guys, don't judge, compare about her external appearance. She's here to point us awareness, stay aligned and resonate with our consciousness, human consciousness. Don't drop yourself in the sun. Thank you, right? I think it's easy for people to get lost, like pick up on the tiny points, you know, and you miss the whole point. But it is what it is, right? You're doing the best that you can with what you know, and you don't. I guess if you become self-aware enough, you become aware of the fact that, okay, this is where my attention is going. Why is it that I am so attracted to this point? They tell on themselves by making weird comments like that, or asking about marital status and saying other things that are just offhandedly. Those people don't respect women at all, are dangerous. What's the situation for women that don't get married if there are more women in the world than men? You just don't get married. It's not that deep. Do you have any regrets? No. Nope. I accept everything. See, in life, usually we regret the things not that we did, but we have regrets as in like what we didn't do. But I don't. I'm grateful for everything because I love aligning with God's hukam, God's will. You know, God's will is God's will. God's will is always happening. Nothing is outside of God's will. So anything that happened, anything that I did, wasn't even me. It was God. And you know, I read about Osho said this, okay, in his book, and I remember reading it, and he even explains it. He says, you know, he says, obviously, a sinner will, you know, now you will say, oh, a sinner says that, oh, I didn't sin. It was I didn't sin. It was a God doing it, then that person doesn't take responsibility. But the point in this is that if the sinner says, I didn't sin, but God sinned, the sinner is connected to God. And obviously I was talking about, you know, how to get a strong aura. And that was one of the things that I believe helped me cultivate a strong aura. It's because I cultivated a relationship with the divine. The divine being God, the divine, the beloved, myself, and it could also be people, right? Do we have free will? I believe we do have free will. Yeah. What? I don't know. It's such... I feel that it's a paradox. We do, but then everything happens to God's thing. So because we are God and God does whatever God wants, because God's will is always the way, then we have free will because we are God, right? Boom. No, we don't have free will. Okay, that's your opinion. I respect your opinion. Thank you for sharing. But let me get back to the aura thing. Let's stay focused. How can we build a strong aura? So, like I said, I was, you know, looking back at how I had done that. I had built a... let's keep the questions to... Good morning. Let's keep the questions to aura, because I want to stay on track. There's so many fun things that I want to talk about. Oh my god. I'm gonna show... why are you running? Okay, stay here. Okay. So, obviously I said inner stillness, so, don't drink from plastic water. I know. I just don't have a... I guess I'm being lazy. Yeah. I'll bless it or something, you know. Strong aura. So, meditation. See, oh, no coffee yet. Wow. Drugs, no drugs yet. So it's difficult for you to stay focused. That's so interesting because, you know, our nature is to be focused. Like, focus, awareness is, like I said, observation is happening at all times. You've just come away so far from that you now need a drug to help you become focused, which is interesting. Where are you from, Miss? I am from... I guess I'll tell you the easy answer, from England. The discussion is about aura. Okay, I'm discussing on how to have a strong aura, because a strong aura and a strong energy field attracts synchronicities to you. It attracts opportunities to you. It allows you to influence people without even saying anything. You know, people want to listen to you. People want to hear you. You're all here for a reason, right? Why are you here? Why are you listening to me? There must be something. You're clearly attracted to my energy field or something like that, right? Like there's something. So, okay, the things that I did to strengthen my aura. Inner stillness. So meditation. Aura farming. Is that where you steal people's aura? You're building aura? Okay, I've been married 19 years and I'll give you the magical key to a great marriage. Okay, go ahead. Shoot, Paul, shoot. Should we wait? Let us continue. Meditation. Because what meditation... I want to ask you, is nationalism... I'll take questions. Nationalism a division we humans have created that trigger our ego and create conflict? Isn't nationalism the cause of conflict and pose threat? Yes. That is it. Nationalism, patriotism, all of these things create separations that just, I want to say just dumb things, you know? They're just dumb. Like, I'm from this area and we are all from this area, so we should stick together and we're so great and everybody else sucks. Is that what nationalism is? Long live whatever country, you know? Look, I get it. We have been born onto the earth, right? We incarnated as human beings. We have certain tribes. We are from a certain place. And that place gets a lot more emphasis than it needs to. I understand that I am Indian, okay? But it's not something that I'm like, oh my God, I'm so proud. It's not that I have shame. I'm neutral about it, you know? I used to be very on the shame side, then I became very proud. Now I'm just neutral. I accept the fact that I'm Indian. I don't have to feel so strongly about it. I can embrace the culture, you know, I can dress, wear a bindi, whatever it is. I love speaking the language. I can accept it, right? I can celebrate it even without imposing a superiority over other people and being like, oh, I'm Indian, I'm better than you. You're this, you're that. I'm, you know, all of us Indians are better than you, blah, 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 blah. Whatever it is. Like, what's the point? I'd be fighting with myself because everybody is you. Thank you.
The guy's gonna come in a bit. We need to come.
What guy?
The skimming guy.
Today?
Yes.
I thought he was coming tomorrow.
No.
He's coming today.
It's a 2-day thing. He has to put the glue on the walls.
Okay, so why do I need to be there?
Because you need to help me with the things.
What? Oh, moving things into the middle. Okay, guys, I have housework going on, so I'm gonna have to go. Okay. Adios.